What were your experiences with regards to the beginnings of the sit-in movement in Nashville? Were you here at the time, or?
Yeah, we got to Nashville just as about a year before the civil rights movement got started, and I happened to be the advisor for the NAACP Youth Council, and therefore sat on the executive committee of the NAACP. So, you know, each week we had mass meetings when the students were put in jail. You know, the whole adult community would converge downtown to the courthouse, and we had to transport the students from the various campuses to First Baptist Church, Capitol Hill, so they could go out and demonstrate. So we called ourselves the helpers of the movement.
And at that time, Kelly Miller Smith was at First Baptist Church. He was a giant, really.
So I mean, whenever there was a march, you know, we got out and got in a march. One of the interesting things, and I think I mentioned the fact when I talked the other day about Mr. Luby's home being bombed, and up to that point, they had not involved the high school students in the demonstrations because they had not gone through the training, nonviolent training that James Lawson conducted. But on this day, the students, everybody was so outraged by Luby's house having been bombed that when they left TSU and they came to Fisk, they decided they were going to Pearl High School and get those kids out of school. They went in and told the kids to come on out. Mr. Hull was the principal of the high school, and his position was that he did not want the students to do anything their parents would not want them to do. So when Donna started out the door, he said to her, what do you think your parents are going to think? And she said, my parents will be upset if I'm not up there in that march. So we didn't know she was in the march. We left TSU and went up to the Capitol, and the first person we saw when we got there was Donna in the march. But the youth council had also been active. These were high school kids who did not participate, as I said, with the college students. But they just got this feeling they wanted to boycott something, they wanted to do something. So they got the notion that they wanted to demonstrate. There was a Hill's grocery store on the corner of 20th and Charlotte. And so they wanted to know whether or not they couldn't demonstrate against that store. So I called attorney Avon Williams to get advice on it. So he said to me, I think you need to get some of the college students to go with them because I would not want there to be an incident. And they're, you know, as young as they are, for them to be out there by themselves. So we got John Lewis, who is now the congressman, Bernard Lee, who was one
Bernard
of the...
Lafayette.
No, Lee.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bernard Lee. You know, I always thought it was Bernard Lafayette, but it was No, it was Bernard.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was.
It was Bernard Lee. Okay. And the other person was James Bevel, who was married to Diane Nash. Those three young men, we lived on 21st Avenue around the corner from that store. So they came and they walked up and down with the kids to demonstrate all day long. But we just were supportive of the movement because we have always believed that, you know, you ought to do what you can where you can.